Well, Cooper Flagg is the real deal. Make no mistake about it. He's built like a small forward. He's a legit 6'8", 6'9" player with an inside game, an outside game, an open court game, a perimeter game. He's got the whole package. Led Duke in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and block shots. He is something special to behold, and he plays on both sides of the ball. So when you think about what he brings to the equation, the fact that you sent away Luka Doncic, and this is now clearly the face of this franchise, that motor that's on him, the face of the franchise, the marketability of this guy, it's going to get everybody up on their toes because all eyes are going to be on the Dallas Mavericks.
Everyone is focused on what's happening in the NBA right now. The stars are already here, the playoff race, the MVP conversation. But there's something else coming. And if you've been paying attention, you can already feel it. Because Cooper Flagg isn't just another hype prospect. This is starting to feel like something much bigger. From the beginning, the expectations around Cooper Flagg were never normal. He wasn't being talked about like a solid young player. He was being talked about like a future star, a franchise player, someone who can change everything in the moment he arrived. And when expectation starts that high, everything gets harder. Because every game gets judged differently, every mistake gets magnified, and every great performance gets treated like it was expected. That's what happens when the hype gets this big. It stops about being potential. It becomes about proof. Because once a player gets hyped enough, the pushback always comes. Can he really be that good? Is he overrated? Are people expecting too much too early? And when you're already being labeled as the future, those doubts hit even harder. Because now, it's not just about being talented. It's about living up to something people already decided for you. And that kind of pressure shows up fast. Especially when people want instant results from someone who's still only at the beginning. Because at some point, the conversation stops being about hype and starts being about production. And once that happened, everything started to shift. Now, it wasn't about what he might become. It was about what he was already doing. The numbers started standing out. The performances started stacking. And once that happens, people stop asking if it's real. Now, they start asking how far it can go. That's when things change. Because now, the hype has something behind it. Now, it isn't just projection anymore. Now, it's starting to feel real. And then came the stretch that changed everything. Not just good games, not just flashes, historic performances. He dropped 51 points and became the first teenager in NBA history to score 50 in a game. At the same time, he became the youngest player to ever score 50 plus in an NBA game. That alone changes the conversation. But it didn't stop there. He followed that with 45 against the Lakers. And before that, he had already put up 42 in another game. That's not normal. That's not just someone getting hot for a week. That's history showing up early. And once a player starts doing that, people stop seeing him as just a young guy with promise. Because young players aren't supposed to do this. They're supposed to take time. They're supposed to struggle. They're supposed to be inconsistent. But Flagg, he wasn't just playing well. He was breaking age records. Youngest ever to score 50 plus. First teenagers ever to reach 50. Youngest player ever with 4 straight 30-point games. That's not normal development. That's acceleration. That's a player speeding up the timeline. And that's what makes this so different. Because once a player starts making history this early, future stops feeling theoretical. It starts feeling close. Because once the numbers turn historic, everything changes. Now, it's not just about potential. Now, it's real. Because If you're already dropping 50, already stacking huge scoring nights, already breaking age records, then the future isn't far away anymore. It's already starting. And that's what makes this scary. Not just how good he is, but how fast it's happening. Because there's a difference between a player with upside and a player who's already showing signs of taking over. And Cooper Flagg is starting to look a lot more like the second one. Because once you prove it, the expectations change again. Now it's not, can he be great? Now it's, how great can he be? Now people expect consistency, dominance, bigger moments, and that's where the real pressure begins. Because this is a stage where players either level up or get crushed by what people expect from them. And that's what makes the next phase so important. Because now, it's not just about showing flashes. Now, it's about turning all of this into something sustainable. This season hasn't ended the way they wanted. They are already out of postseason contention. But that's exactly why this matters so much. Because now the focus shifts from what are they right now to what they could become next. Kyrie isn't coming back this season, but the plan is for him to return next year. Derek Lively is also expected to be back available for training camp. So, when you think about the future where Kyrie returns, Lively is healthy, and Flagg keeps growing into this version of himself, that's when the picture starts to get interesting. Because suddenly, this isn't just about one player having a crazy stretch. It's about a team getting a real glimpse of what comes next. And for Dallas, that might be the most important thing of all. Because this doesn't feel like a random stretch. This feels like the beginning of something bigger. The league is already shifting. New stars are coming in, and Cooper Flagg is putting himself right in the middle of that future. Not because people want to force it, but because the production is making it impossible to ignore. And if this is what it looks like right now, then what does it look like a year from now? 2 years from now? 3 years from now? That's the part that should make people pay attention. Because it's one thing to talk about the future. It's another thing when the future starts showing up early. Because this is not just about highlights, and it isn't just about hype. It's about what this is becoming. Cooper Flagg is not just having big games. He's already making history. Youngest ever to score 50 plus. First teenagers ever do it. And already stacking performances that don't look normal. So now the question isn't whether the hype was real. It's how big this is about to get.